you're not gonna. So the weird thing is, like, I plugged it in, and then it just decided to say I'm not gonna work, and then I reactivate it by going into settings. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna work. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Sunday shows, and we're back at it with another reacting to some fan stuff here. You can probably tell. Last time was the first time we did the Sonic guy infection. I forgot to link the video to the guy that actually made it, so I did go back and do that. I apologize to the creator of that video. He actually commented on the video pointing that out. So my apologies. Was not trying to do anything. He wasn't trying to like steal the video or not give credit or anything like that. I will just be doing that going forward, giving the appropriate people the appropriate credit they deserve. But today we're here with something new. It's actually not a video today. We have a comic. It's called Infested. You've never heard of it. It's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. So it says description zombie story. It's like a mix between 28 Days Later invasion of the body snatchers, mostly story about grief. What horrors await when a tidal wave of ancient brain parasites are accidentally awakened to cause havoc on Mobius. So as you can see right here, this is the author FlightyAlrighty. I will be leaving a link to this page right here, and you can go ahead. This will take you to the site. Word of advice before we do get started: there is some blood in this story, so if you don't like seeing blood or anything like that, I would advise you to probably go ahead and click off now, because there is a little bit. It's not super gory, but there is some blood. So just a bit of a heads up on that. I don't really actually. I guess I don't need headphones for this. It's a comic. I'm not reading this word for word. I don't expect this to be like an hour and 10 minutes like the guy infection video was. I didn't even know that video was even going to be that long. Number one, I really didn't. How did I turn a 14-minute video into like 70 minutes? Crazy levels of I don't know. All right, but I do have it right here. So yeah, come and support, FlightyAlrighty right here. This updates every Thursday. It's not finished, obviously. I think maybe it's been updated once or twice. That's updated 2 days ago at 9 p.m. So still actively being updated at the moment. It hasn't suffered a fate like Guy Infection has, since that one's on indefinite hold, because once again people are stealing the art. Please don't steal these people's art. They made it, not you. And if you use it, you can give credit, or at the very least ask them if you can use it. If they say yes, as long as you give credit, then do it. If they say no, well, then you can't use it. Go look somewhere else. But, people are going to do what they want to do. It doesn't matter. Anyways, here we go. I don't know if there's a full thing. So our boy Shadow is falling right here. So this is the chapter 1. It's got like 36. There's only 2, by the way. Shadow is falling. So this is apparently some this is basically, I might edit in some music. I don't know. I might. Probably should, because it's going to be silent. Like, who wants to hear just my voice the entire time? So it's kind of like Shadow flashing back to the events of Adventure 2. Sonic's fangs are showing. Crow is falling. Maria. Ugh! Okay, that's a little jarring. Don't take this the wrong way, but Maria kind of looks like a guy right here. It probably is, because he's just seeing something. And it's just like, what? Following all these words. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Some gibberish. Guy below, what is that? Guy reference. I don't know. Take that how you will. So it looks like they're talking. Shadow is here right now. He's got some blood right here. Spoiler, once again, like with Guy Infection, I actually do know what has happened here. Is my face cam stuff. I don't really trust it now, because it was weird and it wasn't working for a second when I had it. So it is whatever. So it's basically where it was. So now we go to some point earlier in time. Looks like Shadow and Rouge are getting a mission for, we're going to take a guess. I don't know if they show his face, but it's a Commander Tower here. Yep, that's right. He's like, ah. I said, all right. Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot my phone. You can just pass out and go to sleep, because it still picks you up here. Hi, guys. Ah, I'm sitting in a bad angle. My back is hurting. Trump. Omega is here. So I think you probably feel free to pause the video and read the comic. Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, I might have missed it, but Omega cannot go because they have to go investigate this cave where apparently like any electronic devices get immediately scrambled. So, and Omega's just like, I hope you guys don't have fun without me. You know, basic Omega stuff. Like, let's not lie here. Dude, Shadow find us on one of these things, bro. It's just like, he's just gonna take his L like a man. Because he has to. He doesn't have any choice. So they're in Sumerica. So this is from the Archie comics. This locale. So it looks like they're getting to the point. The cave they're looking for definitely doesn't look like somebody like some vamp. There's definitely just look like Dracula's mouth over here. So apparently they've now reached the point. I'm not reading this out loud. So taking a look, Shadow sees like a mural over here. Said enough already. She said, I don't want to hear it. Somebody died. That's probably the nicest way to put that. Rue's just flexing how she can fly. You know, Shadow has air shoes. You saw bro use literally in like his first cutscene appearance in the series, and we just never saw that again. But it's just like, yo, I'm sure we're gonna be A-okay, man. Like, I need some rope. Like, nah, I just fly. Like, use it, bro. Okay, what are you talking about, bro? So, the ultimate baby. Oh no, Shadow's kind of got the Sonic smirk a little bit. It's been 5 minutes, he says. They're just chilling, going deeper into the cave. Looks like something kind of look like, I'll just decide dyslexic. These kind of look like honeycombs. Or remind me of, what is it, a honeycomb highway from Lost World a little bit. So Shadow's walking, and then the ground decides to absolutely collapse up under him. And he's having a flashback to when he was falling in space. Oh, there he is. There he tried to use his shoes, but bro accidentally hits his head, and he gets a pretty nasty gash. The point bro is like leaking blood. And there's the headless corpse again, bro. Got a, ooh, that's a pretty nasty cut. A lot of skeletons, bro. What's going on down here? And geez, bro, it's making a whole trail. Is it a river? A river of blood runs through Shadow. You can smell the blood. That's a lot of blood. That shit's out there making a trail. That's crazy. Like, what do you mean that's out here making a trail, bro? That is wild. Oh, and apparently they also curse us. So I guess, you know what I'm saying. F you probably should have been a telltale sign of that. So that's my bad. Definitely have to come back to this in the future when we know it is going to continuously get updated. But it looks like Rouge is going for help. Shadow is beginning to come back. He's got a pretty bad cut. That's pretty big, and it looks to be pretty deep too, especially if he's lost this much blood. He's trying his best. He said, "What the hell is that?" And then he finds a black doom moral. Well, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't see it. I think he does see it in like a second. But he's found whatever this thing is. This legitimately looks like something from Steven Universe. Like, this looks like something they would find in like the kindergarten or whatever it was called. This guy smell blood. Shadow's just dripping. Like, jeez, man, that is a lot of blood. He's ready to fight, but he can't handle it. He's too weak. And it decides to basically explode and send out all these little bug-like creatures toward him. And this is, I guess if you have probably should have said if you have a bug phobia, probably don't do that. And they're literally burrowing into Shadow. They're burrowing into his leg. So these things aren't just bugs, they're parasites. And they're trying to lock into Shadow. He's going into his bloodstream. Which, that by itself is already a terrifying thought. That Bro's basically just, he now has a parasite. It's insane. And eventually, I guess they helped him because he wakes up and, hey, guess what? He's in the hospital. And, you know, I never actually thought of that. You know, the stripe that, hold on. Am I missing something? I don't think so. There's no, like, red stripe runs down, like, Shadow's arms. Like, I don't think this is, like, a misprint. Hold on. I've got another one in my bag. So give me a second. Ah! My Sonic backpack of goodies over here before we can continue on. I have, like, all of, like, the figures I've collected. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. No, I got like 2 Shadow ones in here. Is this? Okay, well that's an old one. That one doesn't have any arms. So there's not really a whole lot to do with that one. I'll put the Rouge right there. Knuckles, Blaze. I'm flexing at this point, man. Come on. I got Super Silver over here. Classic Supersonic. Where the fuck? I got a classic Metal Sonic. I got a classic Amy over here. See, this is one of them, but he doesn't have arms. And also, we need to have a discussion on, like, why the fuck some of these do just misprint Shadow shoes. Like, I gotta lie, they actually do look kind of fire, but it's not correct. I mean, what are we doing here? Is that one of them? No, but that is, like, it's not Mecha Sonic to me. This is Silver Sonic. This will always be Silver Sonic. I know we just went from, hey, discussing this comic to, you know, guess what? It's fucking show and tell. Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. So, I found my Super Shadow one. He actually does, he does have like a red stripe right there. Like, kind of like on like the back of his arm. So, you know, these are like the official, where the fuck is it? Okay, yeah, he does. I found my small one, so he's kind of got the same thing. So, it's right fucking here. Yeah, he does. He does actually. He does. He's got like this black stripe right here. So yeah, and this one just looks like he's smiling, and his arms are just always like this. It's one thing I don't like about this Shadow figure is just the fact that his arms are just like this. You can't do nothing with them. But anyways, show and tell is over. So there we go. Theory proven. Shadow does actually have a stripe. I'm just really stupid and don't know character designs. And you know what? That's okay, because I never claimed to actually know that. Never did. Probably most likely never will. Damn it. My backpack is fucking old. I've had this. How long have I had this backpack? I've had this backpack for almost like 12 years. My dad actually got it for me. Anyways, back on topic here. So Shadow is chilling. We now know this is legitimate. And, you know, that's very interesting. I guess that would be true. Because thinking about, yeah, if Stripes just, I'd be kind of weird if it just ended on like his arm or whatnot. But it's kind of cool. So Shadow has 2 fingers that are red, or at least the fur there is red. I'm not sure if they're going to be red if you actually look at the palm of his hand. But who knows? He's just saying the letter C. Bro must be on the good stuff, because looks like he is vibing right now. And okay, well, I'm not pulling them all back out just to look at his feet. Like, I think we get it by this point. He just has the stripes, which, you know, the red stripe probably just comes from the fact, you know, that he's also part black arms. Like, I feel like that's where that comes from. So, but then again, I guess it's not actually true. Well, this is kind of like an off-brand. I forgot to put him back. Yeah, this man's been through the ringer. You've probably actually seen this Shadow before. Some of like the really old videos that I've done. Like, this Shadow has legitimately probably actually appeared in some of these. So yeah, think about this as a cool little Easter egg for some reason. If you've actually seen one of my older videos, this one definitely has appeared. So, I still got it. Don't think I'm ever going to go back to these style of videos, because it's just like, dude, I'm like 23 years old. I can't be playing with toys, bro. What's going on? So Shadow just be the one, I'm fine. I just need to get out of here. Something about a hole. like, what are we? She's like, what are we talking about? Kind of rocking through it. So Rouge is like, Rouge is just trying to be a good friend here. She's like, hey, you know, you fell down a hole. You know, you got a pretty bad cut on your head, and he's just like, no, I don't want to hear it. He's like, I'm the ultimate life form. I am not some frickin' child. It's not messy. He's not messing around though. See, unless she says like, no, treating you like my friend who got hurt, badly hurt. Like she just cares. It's her friend. It's a GUN. Yeah, she's got merch, bro. Go buy the merch. GUN.com. I don't know this actual website, and if it is, I feel like it's definitely not going to be related to Sonic. But it could be. So maybe somebody's actually done that. She thought she killed you because you took a step on some rocks. Oh, Child's like, down. Shadow's a little fucked up here. Ted, a little reference to his amnesia from Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog. Where we we're not like Sonic and his posse. We don't have to consistently affirm where we stand with each other or ourselves. Oh, he tried to. He couldn't even walk through the door. He's too big to fit through the door frame. Bro didn't just bust it out. He's hiding something. He's like, I got something on you. Nervous. It's like, does she know? Does she know? Oh, this is like after like the Archie comics because Black Death is here. Black Death was in the Archie comics. He he was in one of the arcs in Sonic Universe. He was in Shadowfall. So like the Black Comet. Well, the Black Arms came back in the new Black Comet, and Black Death was there, and that's when Eclipse first appeared. Obviously, you don't know anything about the Archie comics. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Just go look at Shadowfall from Sonic Universe if you can. I'm sure you can find it somewhere online by this point. I mean, the Archie comics have been dead for like 8 years now. Taken control for a while by Black Doom and later by Black Death. He's like, Black Doom? He's just like, what are you talking about? Shadow's like, you know something. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, she knows something. We're friends. She said, you swung at me. I said, I did do that. She's like, you literally tried to hit me, bro. This might be the only, of course, obviously this is just fan comics, this isn't canon, but he's like, we're friends. Like, you don't hear Shadow do that very often. But if we were to talk to actual canonical game Shadow, I realistically feel like he would actually call Rouge his friend. I mean, why not? I mean, like, you know, Izuka already said, like, Sonic Shadow, he's like, they're not friends. They're not friends. Which I think Sonic would, like, consider Shadow his friend, but Shadow would not consider Sonic his friend. You know, maybe like an ally or an acquaintance of some sort, but not a friend. You know, that's a rip to all the Sonado fans out there. I wish it was canon. It's going to stay in the head canon for a little bit. Bro was talking in a language. Lots of them are dead. So yeah, see, Rouge took note of the more of the. Oh my god, I can't talk. The hieroglyphic. Here, we're just gonna call it that. The hieroglyphic. How about that? That's an understatement of the year. It's nothing. He is nothing to concern yourself about. It's just, I'll take care of him, bro. Bro's giving out. Shadow was standing river. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is where this is about to take a little bit of a turn here. I need to know if I was speaking the language of the Black Arms. Not a bad idea. If only you knew. Wrote down the words. They're speaking words. I started speaking the words. Well, hello there. I don't know. I'm almost done with this comic. Y'all hold on a second. What you doing? Look who's here. Oh, it's Evie. Hi, baby. Yeah, her forehead's a little nasty right now. But this is a little angel right here. Are you burning up? You've been running around, ain't you? I know you have. You always are. Do you want to stay in here? Sit around and pitter patter everywhere. You're so cute. Alright, well, the door is open now. But that's okay, because said the words, something is happening to bro right here. And all of a sudden we cut and it's just outside. So something happened. And bro's hand is completely covered in blood. But anyways, I'll be back. I'm probably just going to pause it because I have to run out for a little bit. So I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. I know I was gone for a minute. I was gone for a good hot minute. But anyways, yeah, it's like 9 o'clock now. Why did it say it's 10? Am I missing something? No, it's not. So, anyways, yeah, we're just, all of a sudden everything just goes hazy. And now our boy wakes up in the middle of the forest. And he is just, right side is just, right here in his left, is splattered in blood. So, and the last person's there with a rouge, looking a little funny. Yeah, I don't know. And I think he immediately realized that. He's like, oh shit, bro, fucked up. But he hears something in the bushes. But it's not rouge. It's not rouge that he sees. It's Sonic. And I don't know what in the actual fuck this man did to be completely covered, literally head to toe in blood, with like a little bit of like just brain matter all over him. And you're just like, what? So that's it for the first chapter of this comic. So I think chapter 2 is still in the works, but there's still like quite a bit here. But you're just like, how exactly did you get to this point? So it pretty much just picks off Sonic and Shadow have now ran into each other, where Shadow just says right here, what happened here? Like, realistically. And he doesn't even know it until here. He's just like, what the fuck? I only realized bros with tails, so if we're going to put 2 and 2 together, whoever's guts these that are, they're all over him, they probably belong to Tails, which means that more than likely, with how Sonic looks, Tails is probably just, I don't know, just skin. It can't be pretty. So Sonic obviously like freaking out. He's scared, but he's just like, Shadow's like, he's just like, Shadow's just like, look, bro, like you killed him. Okay, it's too late. It's too late, man. What's done is done. Of course, Sonic's gonna be like, I don't want to hear that. It's not true. And then hear some voices. It's G-Win. You're like, oh my god. What does it say? Never ask me to draw a gun again. What is it? Just a bad thing? Sonic is not about it, bro. Shadow's just like, I did it. The sleeper agent. What is it? I think one of them mentions, like, it's just like, you see what he did? So they threw just throw regular handcuffs on Sonic, and then they throw like power suppressing cuffs on Shadow. And he's just like, it's ridiculous. No questions. It's just like, I said no questions. I just want to know what's going on. That kind of fancy tech form. Yeah, you think just regular handcuffs are enough to hold Shadow? No thanks. The commander is always... It's like, dude. He's just like, dude. He's like, bruh. And, you know, and you're probably like, oh, Sonic can just run away. That is true. And he even says it himself. He's just like, I got stuff to do. And they're like, all right, well, if you run off, we're just going to shoot Shadow. And he's like, fuck, all right. You know, Sonic, like, you know, he's just like, all right. Chucklehead. This may be Electron, but they still need to work. It's actually a pretty good way to explain that. Shut up, phone. What the fuck? But yeah, so we see here, pretty obvious that now Sonic and Shadow have basically been arrested by GUN. Yeah, so it's pretty obvious. Is there just like... The floor should be caked in like the blood in like Sonic steps. How is this perfectly staying on him, bro? Like he's literally bathed in it. Did he like rub it into like his fur? Like what are we doing here? So, and the big thing is, of course, the biggest thing I don't think we point out is that, you know, apparently somehow Sonic has been infected with the exact same parasite that Shadow has. How? We don't know. I guess we haven't made it to the point where that's been explained yet. I would assume at some point they will explain, like, okay, you know, Sonic got infected by so-and-so. We don't know how Shadow got infected, but just how did this happen to Sonic? And Shadow's just like, you know, it's like, hey, like, there's something wrong with us. He says it right there. Let's just accept the truth. Sonic's like, I did not do it, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Shadow's like, he's just like, how are you not seeing it? And I think it finally kicks in for Sonic. He has the moment of realizing. He's just like, oh, he says, I did it. And then he just completely freaks out. And bro just starts tripping here. And then we get hit with this. What the fuck is this face? What is this? This is this comic's equivalent to like the infected Nightmare Knuckles and Rouge art. This is what this is for that. What the fuck is this? I think I found the thumbnail for this video. Is this right here? What is this? What is this? It looks like he's doing the thing where his eyes are just barely open. Like this is some Sonic.exe type shit. But it's just like, I don't think... And see, look, he's got something here. What's going on back there? Like, I don't fucking know. That just got what's going on, man? Like, what? What are we doing? It just looks eerie. Like, you kind of look at it in hindsight. It's not super scary, but it's just kind of like, You look at it a certain way, it kind of can rub you the wrong way, but I think it's just looking like that. Like I don't know. I need to move on here. I think it's just Sonic with his eyes closed. It's not like doing like his eyes are peeking out. So pretty sure it's just me. I'm just weird and I'm seeing it a different way. But I think that through the thumbnail, that might be the move. But yeah, actually stop the van. Stop the van. So don't waste our timing. So they're taking them back to Central City. Smiling back there like he didn't do anything. So yeah, there it is right there. So basically, it was like in that moment where Shadow basically blacked out. He probably... I don't think we want to know what he did to Rouge. I think it might be pretty equivalent that bro is shedding a tear over here. So I think it's pretty obvious that Shadow killed Rouge, and he did it in a pretty gruesome way that I don't think we want to know. So he says, but Sonic, they're just like, that was... what I figured. So this is basically the equivalent that Sonic did in fact kill Tails, which is kind of sad. Like, what is it with a lot of these horror stories that like Tails is just the unlucky guy? He dies every time. Of course, that's like Sonic.exe logic 101. Besides the fact that Sonic has to have, you know, black eyes and, you know, crying blood, you know, and then they had next thing after that is like, okay, so maybe it's Sonic.exe logic 102. And it's like, all right, then Tails has to be the first person to die. This guy right here. It's like, come on, man. Look at him. Do you really want to kill this guy? If you answered yes to that, you probably are a big fan of Tails abuse. What happened to Sonic? So, okay, so I guess this actually does go over the part of exactly what happened to Sonic, like how he got infected. So, looks like there's like a circus in Station Square. There's like a little Tails born over here. The world's strongest elephant. They're just chilling right here. So there's some stuff going on, and there is Sky Magnus the Magnificent. Well, his real name, well, that's his stage name. He's like Ivan. So da-da-da. He's like, you will call him. Bro, I just want some respect here. And like the ringleader, like the... What do you call it? I guess you would call him the ringleader, right? Yeah. That's the name, like the leader of a circus. You can nice chested. That's a great way to break somebody. Well, I guess so. He's like, nobody cares about you no more, man. So I went out there pissed off. And yo, look at this. There's a Barry reference, and there's the custom avatar. Of course, he has the gamer. I feel like I've seen him somewhere. Can't remember. You know, Barry's just chilling on his downtime. Someone just coughs. She's like, damn. Bro is just proven right. He's like, yeah, nobody cares about these guys anymore, bro. So, obviously, he's doing what any strongman do. Dude just doesn't care. He's not even paying attention. Some dude is booing him. Is that Drago? It's fucking Drago from the Archie comics, bro. Drago Wolf. Trying to be the cool guy. Four guys lift this. So, yeah. When did we see Shadow? Oh, okay. That's a reference to Shadow. Shadow would be running through, and there's some things you can flip. And Shadow would do that. He actually did flip a bus with one hand. So, he's not lying here. He's just mentioning I can do anything. So, it's just like, you know, your strength's impressive, but there's a lot of other people that can do this too. And the blasting out of Bro's mouth was the echidna before he just got absolutely just, you know, basically flattened by a giant safe. That's kind of, whew, yeah. Just keep in mind, it's a little rough, bro. He said, I ain't going back to prison, bro. He said, no. He said, the military perfect said, nope. He said, I ain't going back to prison. He's trying to make a run for it. I mean, you did throw it. You literally threw a safe at the guy. What did you expect was going to happen? He's just going to walk off and be like, damn, that hurt. Like, no, it's not how that works. I don't even know what that's. I don't. If that was a different language, I do not know what it was. Damn, where does people come from? Who's that? Is that Middle Amy? Justice, get back here. Is there any real justice in the world these days? I feel like in this day and age, somebody saw like somebody dude like murder somebody, they wouldn't try to catch him. They would just record him running away. Like, dude, get off the phone, catch him. He's a threat to society. Thinks he's alone, and then bam, Sonic is here. You picked the wrong train, fool. Might have heard of him. She throws Sonic off like bro just can't immediately come back. train. Dude, nothing wrong with that, man. Like, Sonic's just chilling, dude. So they're basically just fighting at this point. But here's your taste. Sorry to disappoint. So Sonic, yeah, uses his quills. It feels like he hit a move that would be like in like the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. Which I would assume that you actually being hit by that is probably not fun. Okay, so there's kind of like an answer here. We see like Sonic's trying to grab onto. Sonic tried to pull him up, but he's just too much for Sonic, and they both fall off the train. So we see this here, like they're falling, like Sonic lands, but Ivan does not. Sonic's trying to come up with a move to save him here. A little spider web, and he does, and unfortunately, well, at least for the moment, that was last time's updated, which was which was 2 days ago. Like I said, it's updated every Thursday, and today is Saturday, so it's right on time. So yeah, it looks like that's all we've got for the moment. And 2:30 will be released. So, and it says a note right there that it is going to be a little bit delayed. It will be out on the 22nd. So that's not, so it'll be 2 weeks. Have to wait a little bit. But yeah, this is where this ends right here. So yeah, definitely check out this comic. If you want to check it out, read it for yourself, then by all means, I will leave the link below. And go ahead and support FlightyAlrighty here, because this is a real good comic. A little bit I've read, this is actually really good, and hopefully it's not gonna slow down or suffer the same fate that the Guy Infection AU has undergone. But anyways, with that being said, that is gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this video. So if you liked it and enjoyed, the like button, subscribe to the channel, helps out. So for these videos, I'm going to try to do these on Saturdays. I can't do it next Saturday because I'm not going to be here at all next weekend. I'm going out of town. So I will probably, I don't know when exactly. It will be before Friday because I'm leaving Friday morning. But it'll be sometime, won't be sometime between like Monday and Thursday. I already know what exactly I want to do. But yeah, we'll get to that then. But anyways, that's all I got for this one. I will catch you guys in another video. So until then, peace out, guys. Take care.